Hello and welcome, I'm Logan with All Paths Taken, and I asked a very important question a while back. What is the best build in Elden Ring? To answer that question, I created very strong builds and put them to the test to find out which one is the best build in Elden Ring. I've played through the game on New Game Plus and am finally ready to put each build to the test against a single boss to see which build beats it the quickest. Now I will mention, in order to speed up time for recording, I'm not going to kill it with every single build, but we will have a 2-second penalty or addition that we will add to every kill, as I'm probably going to stop with about 2 seconds left to make sure that boss does not die. Because each of these builds do redonkulous damage. Once I have the time for each boss fight and each build, we are also going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the very, very redonkulous things each build can do to really see which one is the best overall. Because one boss fight doesn't do each build justice. Each build has its strengths, each build has its weaknesses, and that's something we're going to talk about. By the way, if you haven't seen any of the breakdowns yet for each build, check them down in the description, as I have each video linked in there so you can find it nice and easy. So the boss I chose for this challenge is the Dragonic Tree Sentinel, or DTS as I like to call it. He is someone who is very big, very tanky, near the middle of the game before everything starts getting really, really high in resistances to holy, magic, bleed, all of that stuff. So this gives me a chance to show off what each build can do. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright DTS, let's see it. Let's see what you got. God, I gotta try not to kill you. This is the weirdest boss fight I think I'll ever have to do. That's so much damage. Don't kill him. Oh, thank God, I was out of stamina. Ow. Alright, that'll kill him. Now, last hit will kill him. I'm done. We'll just add 2 seconds to when that last hit hit. We'll add 2 seconds, but he can kill me. Any day now. Come on, dude. There we go. Alright, DTS. This is the one. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. God, that's so much damage from one combo. Yeah, he's dead. Already. I got the luckiest RNG. Holy crap. So, I'm not gonna kill him. But I'm gonna add, like, let's say 2 seconds. We'll just say 2 seconds for every build. Holy crap, dude. That was nuts. Alright. We're all charged up from killing that golem. So let's mess this dude up. That's not nearly as much damage as I was expecting. Holy crap. That's alright though, because he's basically dead. Basically. Okay, so, like, one more input. I don't want to risk it. We got a couple more builds left. Let's add 2 seconds, because I think that's about how long it would have taken for him to die. Dude, these builds have to be so close. Like, I don't know the time as of right now, but they have to be so close. Alright, poison build. Let's see what you got. Let's do it. Boom. Boom. Holy crap. That's so much damage, dude. Crap, dude. That's so much. Oh, whoops. That was my bad. Okay. Alright. I need to... Whoo! I almost blew it. Whoops. That would have been terrible if I would have killed him to poison, because then I would have had to go all the way back through New Game 7 again. Oh my God, I saved it. Wow. Alright. I got a buff. I gotta go... Ah. You didn't see anything. Ah. I gotta heal. And here we go. This is gonna be so quick. I just know it. It's gonna be so quick. Oh, I whiffed. That sucks. Okay, I can't hit him anymore. He's dead. Like, holy crap. Oh my God. I think for this one, we'll add 3 seconds. We'll add 3 seconds because I'd have to jump and then attack. I think that would take 2 seconds total. So we'll add 3. We'll add 3 to make it fair. Because holy crap. That was so good. The damage with these builds is just unreal. Alright, let's try this. I'm actually worried about fighting this boss. Because I think he's gonna die like right away. And I'm actually worried about it. Oh my god, I didn't mean to do that! I don't know if I need to add 2 seconds, because he's kind of dead. Whoops. So now that the speed challenge is over, here are our current standings. So now it's time to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly for each build. Let's start with the strength build. So for the strength build, I tried to make a build that hit really hard, really fast, because the strength builds in general are really slow. And that's something I really wanted to try to negate. I didn't want to use charge attacks because in New Game Plus 7, everything takes so much longer to stagger and charge attacks do a great job of staggering. But as we get closer and closer to New Game Plus 7, staggering bosses, especially the end game bosses, is very, very difficult to do. So using something fast like Savage Lion's Claw, combining it with the Thorny Cracked Tear and the Shard of Alexander was the best idea I came up with. There's some really, really good things about this, is that the early and mid-game bosses are going to absolutely get stomped on, but the main drawback that I saw was if I run out of stamina, I'm not doing damage, which means I lose all of my buffs, which I think is about the only flaw you can have in this strength build, because it's incredibly fun having a very heavy armor that knocks around enemies, knocks around bosses, and can stand some light hits or normal hits, but the heavy attacks, you're still going to get staggered, but that's kind of an automatic thing, especially when you're fighting harder bosses like Radagon at the end of the game or Hoarah. Some bosses just hit hard, and no amount of poise will stop that. Now for the Dex build was the fastest on the timesheet, but I would also argue it was one of the most boring ways to play. I really, really love having fun playing these games, and hitting one button to win, while incredibly fun, by the end game, it got incredibly boring, and the odds of me continuing to use /Ash of War just really dropped, especially when you're fighting faster bosses like Melania and Radagon. For the Faith build, it was the most unique build I thought I created, as I have the Euphoria, which is a weapon that buffs the more you hit them with R1s and R2s, and then once it's fully charged, you light off that holy beam, and it was an absolute blast to see. The main drawback with the Euphoria is that many endgame bosses, and Remembrance bosses as well, have such high thresholds for holy damage and faith damage. So when you have that giant beam, as you saw a little bit with the DTS, I even said it, I wasn't doing nearly as much damage as I thought I would. But that's also part of being on New Game Plus 7. With the Arcane build, where we focused on poison, I actually was really surprised at how good this build turned out. So the main drawback with the Arcane build was twofold. The charge attack multi-hit was really fun, but it also was very difficult to pull off against certain bosses. And it was really cool seeing the Ash of War instantly proc poison for that instant insane damage boost, but then I had to wait until poison wore off before I can get it again. And that's one thing I think some of the other builds do a better job of, is when I have a buff, it stays on for most if not all of the fight, and if I lose it, it's really quick to get it again. For the Bleed build, this one might be the best in the game, but there's a couple caveats. While it will absolutely devastate every boss in the game, anybody who's immune to bleed, it's not very good. I'm going to be completely honest. Using jump attacks and then L1s while to trigger that multi-hit is really, really cool, really, really satisfying. If they are immune to bleed, or they're like a fire giant who is incredibly resistant to bleed, it's going to be very hard to try to fight that boss. And that is the one main drawback I think this build has to being the legitimate best build in Elden Ring. If every boss was weak to bleed, it's no contest. Bleed build wins. But because of that major drawback, I don't know if this thing can sit in first place. And finally, we have the Intelligence build. This build has so much going on, I'm not surprised this build demolished the Dragonic Tree Sentinel. I hit the button, what, like 3 times? 4 times? That was awesome. I was expecting the Dragonic Tree Sentinel to come up and slam me once so I'd have to use my Ash of War, which would have absolutely devastated the man. And honestly, if I didn't kill it, I would have refought it again just to use the Ash of War, because there's 2 ways to fight that boss, and I don't know if any other build that I've made has another way to fight it. They have one thing, and that's it. And I think that's why this intelligence build, even though I am not a magic guy, is the best build in Elden Ring. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. Let me know, which build did I create is the best build in Elden Ring in your opinion. Remember, everything I've done here and created, from build crafting to my points that I've made, are just based off of my experiences with the game. But you guys let me know down in the comments below. Do you have a build that's better, whether it be Arcane, Intelligence, Bleed, Dex, Faith, anything? You let me know. Have a great day, everybody, and thank you so much for watching.